So, it's happened before, and now it's happening again, and nobody understands why. Everything has a cycle, everything has a repeat, and when you work through what needs to be worked through, it just has to repeat. Now, you get to choose what the bottom line is. You get to choose what the standards are. You get to choose how everything expresses. So, certain parts will just always be what they are. But it's not what you think. You will just get the ability to live life if that's the cycle that you're in. And then when it comes to a new life, then this one will do what it does so that you can find a new life. And then in one life, you can live many different personalities within your own self. You can be a caregiver for a time. You can be the one who is the innocent one for a time. You can be the one who oversees other people. You will always have the pleasure to be the different aspects of yourself, whether you accept it or whether you try and do other stuff alongside of it, or if you do other things alongside of it to complement it. When you complement the things and the places and the aspect of yourself that you are meant to express, it allows you to be in your fullest. This is really important about your quote-unquote masculine and feminine energy. They're actually something so different than what you understand as male and female. They do have certain elements that are the same, just like the rain that comes out of the sky has something similar to the ocean's depth, but yet they are very different. Your masculine energy in a female form is going to dance a different dance. When you get the opportunity to be in the biological human that you're in, and to express energy through that specific biological human, you have a different filter to push energy through, to pull energy into, to let energy dance out of. When you have masculine energy in a male, it dances out of a male very differently. And when anything dances out of the biological light being that we are, in its purest form, in its most natural form, there is something that is so attractive about that. Because that's what it's meant to be. That is its purest expression. So as human beings, we've learned to design our lives however we feel like, based upon our own limitations and our own this and that and the other thing, because, well, we can. And we can do anything we want because survival has allowed us to live many different types of lives. Survival right now in the human race is not necessarily for the civilizations that are more advanced. That is, it is not survival. There are civilizations that might even be listening to this that might be living in a survival civilization. Your lower chakras are the things that really move you. Those are the things that you will get up for. You will get up for, and you continuously think about specific aspects of your own self-expression and how that is perceived by others. I am specifically having a conversation with whoever wants to hear. Wherever it's coming from. Is it coming from your root chakra? Is it coming from your sacral chakra? Those are the deeper parts of you. But in other places, those things are well taken care of. Those things are not an issue for anything or anyone when they walk out the door. Their self-expression, it is most important that others' opinions are of the most utmost trailing through the mind continuously. And then you move up and you move into different places within the chakra system. And when you get to the place where you can do whatever you want to and you can make it real. But then you want to belong. That's you creating a whole new type of being, because belonging is coming back into the root chakra. But when you believe you can do whatever you want, that means you have the wherewithal to do so. So you will be creating a totally different persona, a totally different everything. And that is one of the greatest things that I have found is happened in countries that are most advanced technologically, is people have created an entire secondary person that is not necessarily aligned with their biology, that's not necessarily aligned with their gender, that's not necessarily aligned with their spiritual path, that's not necessarily aligned with anything they ever wanted in life. They became an entire doll of that which they consumed. The music that they consumed when they were younger, the different relationships that they consumed, they became the patchwork doll of all of these things, and they have become a completely different person, and they're going to fight for that person because they've destined that into belonging. And you belong into whatever group you're a part of or whatever you assimilate with, because now you've been accepted, so you can belong. But the issue is you never were not accepted. The universal substances accepted you and gave you all of the different microns and electrons and units of energy in order to continue to hold together your human. You have the force of life that magnetizes all of your molecules together to be human. Just like gravitational force holds Earth together and holds us all on Earth. You were always accepted. You were accepted before you were born. You were accepted by forces that have much more intensity than these humans that you have observed around you. Growing up, growing in, growing out. Whatever you've chosen for your life, does it actually really align with the design of the cosmos? Does the electrons match up with the electrons? Does the way that your energy walks through your body make you feel so empowered to be more? Or is there a place where you have a pin holding down one of the greatest parts of who you are, but yet you feel like you're the biggest air pocket there is? How do you truly get into and feel all of those places where those little pinches are, the pins are, the weights are? This is the aspect and movements of going deep into the energies of who you are and matching them up with what you are. literally looking down at the human body that you are and accepting that you have this biological, beautifully tuned machine that you get to live in. It is you, you are it. And are you communicating well with it? Or are this feeling of separation in your own beautiful human existence? Or do you feel fully one with it? Do you feel this beautiful satisfaction in everything that you are? Every breath that you take, every time that you look out at life, you're just fully satisfied. No need to push forward, no need to pull back, no need to do anything, because that's not the being, that is the thinking. How does the being feel? Does the being feel ignited to just be here? Or does it feel like it needs to ignite itself and run down the street in order to find a little bit of attention? Do you need to classify yourself and have everybody know that you are the first breadwinner, you are the blue ribbon person, you are the number one in this particular, or, oh, you're a part of this category, make sure you put me there? Why can't you just naturally be who you are, and that's okay, and whatever judgments come your way, well, whatever, people do what they do, and you just so comfortable in yourself. But like I said, we've grown into a world where people can believe they can do whatever they want to, and they've created a whole new persona, a whole new being, a whole new way of existing for themselves that is completely separate from the actuality that they are, where life force sits. And so it's only when they can jump into that life force, usually behind their own self, where they can just sit and be. And I made a video many years ago, probably 2020 at this point. And it was, can you take the part in you that is the most stillness, peacefulness, most meditative, and walk down the street and still feel all of those exact same things while there are people looking at you, while you are out shopping, while there are pressures of life, while you are having to drive, while you're having to pay bills, while you're having to be all of these things that you have to fill? Why can't you just be the full presence of who you are in the most beautiful aspect in all of these places? Well, it's because you've created other things for you to jump into. It's like a suit. Okay, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there. And so when you do that on an everyday basis, you learn to just wear the suit when you're inside instead of actually being who you are. People have gotten to the place they don't even want to be human anymore because they've created this extra personality that they assimilate with the human. It's not the fact. You are a one being. You are not all of these extra things. But when you decide to be all of these extra things, then you become them. That's really how powerful your mind is. You can create all of these different pathways for yourself. You can create other beings. It doesn't have to just be through the portal of creating a whole new human being, which is through the feminine womb portal. But she can create other beings all the time. You just don't see them. This is why having a true feminine with a true womb is connected to the universal substances. It's actually very beautiful how it was made. This is something that you can't replicate. You can replicate the biology. But can you imagine replicating the biology and being someone who didn't have access to the actual thunderclap and boom that creates all of existence within your own womb, and trying to connect with someone who does have that? It's going to be a very big war. Like, yeah, you're not this. You create war for yourself when you become something that you're not actually. And if you decide to do those things and you decide to become war, then, Our countries that fought for these things in our freedom, you're really going backwards, aren't you? But that's your choice. You're able to do anything that you want, isn't it? You're free to be whoever you want to be. But why not be the inner me? The part in you that truly transpired into this existence itself. This is something that I have brought with me in every single layer and every single thing that I have created. It is my PowerPoint, and it is why I am ENYELAH Browning Taylor. This is why I am the specialist when it comes to energy. It comes to allowing energy into your life for healthier life. For a life that is aligned with the depth of who you are and the power that you are. The power that comes from before life, before the human. And the human often really does put a whole bunch of construction signs before you can even get close to it. Your human knows how to label things as dangerous and ruthless and don't even bother. But when you get through these things, and when you really truly bring the depth of who you are into each and everything that you do, including an email, including the conversation with the people that are meant to be fully respected and valued, society says maybe to bend down to them. But you're never meant to bend down to anyone, but you are supposed to respect people for their position of authority because you don't know what they're going through. The authorities that hold things in these realms, you look up to them as a person of extreme power. That's because they are, and they do have a huge weight to hold. So you do need to respect them. Maybe if you don't like them, that's fine, but you still need to respect them. And if you can't respect them, then maybe you FEAR them, and that will have to do, but that's not true nature. True nature is you value and respect each person of power and authority in where they are, because they have more layers, they have more structures, they have more things that are available to them to hold and maintain all of the things that they have to. This is why the majority of people don't really want to get up on a stage in front of 10,000 people and bear their truth on a continuous basis. Continuous, day and night. People, if you don't have the perfect structures, you will be in a place where you are exposed. And many other things will be exposed. That is just the way that it is. To be who you truly are in all of the levels is what gives you the power. And these things can be brought in. This is a transformation process. It's allowing you to be you in all the places and all the levels and all the aspects that you are. It is not something that you can do easily, and it must be done well. There are a lot of intricate things. I am a specialist in this because I pay attention. That's why I'm a specialist, because I pay attention to the things that you don't even know exist. I'm tuned into them. Like a car manufacturer is tuned into all the other car manufacturers, what they're doing, what technologies they're putting into, how to stay on top. That's how I'm tuned into the energies of life itself. The different energies that transform, move you, and then how you're doing with it all. How are you transforming? How are you receiving it and accepting it? Because there has to be a perfect level of certain things in order for other things, and then all the timings, and then all the things. This is what not only have I studied, but it is what I do on a continuous basis. Having a conversation with me gets you closer to the transformation possibility. And in a conversation, you will also just get to know a lot more about yourself, because being in my presence, I don't do, I'll come and meet you where you are. I don't. I'm just going to always be me. So you will feel the presence and the difference between the two of us. That is really very valuable for you to know, because you will see a lot of things. And it is an experience that is actually over the top. And so having a conversation with me is only available through my website, ENYELAH.com. Through membership, you'll be able to book a call, which actually comes with the first purchase of membership. And then from there, we can have a few more conversations if that's what you think is important for you. But those who know who you already know. I know that you know. You know that this transformation is something that will give you more clarity. It will give you a lot more sight to the places that are unknown within inside of you, to see exactly what you want for your life, how you want it to make sense, how you really truly desire to have satisfaction, but just don't seem to ever truly get that grasp. Same thing with life. You wake up and you're living, but it's like, what is this? There's just something, and I want it. I want to know what it is. Let's take you to those places so that you can truly experience the fullness of yourself. It's a pleasure to have this conversation with you. However you are responding to it, that is your experience. Mine, it was a beautiful experience. I enjoyed this. Thank you.